Welcome back to our channel. A few days ago, we shared our predictions about what the United States might ask from the Philippines during the visit of U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. So far, there have been no reports of Secretary Hegseth directly pressuring the Philippines to increase its defense budget, buy more American weapons, or contribute financially to U.S. troop presence in the country. However, back in the United States, there are growing discussions within the U.S. legislature about providing more aid to the Philippines while also urging the Philippine government to allocate at least 2% of its GDP toward defense. In this video, we'll break down what this means, the potential implications, and whether this push aligns with the Philippines' long-term strategic goals. Many U.S. think tanks and policymakers believe that the Philippines has the economic capacity to spend 2% of its GDP on defense. This benchmark is commonly associated with NATO allies, where member states are encouraged to meet or exceed 2% to maintain a credible deterrent force. For context, the projected nominal GDP of the Philippines in 2025 is estimated at $507.6 billion US. 2% of that would amount to $10.143 billion US allocated to defense. Currently, as of the fiscal year 2025, the Philippines' total defense budget, including the AFP modernization program, is $5.36 billion US, or just 1.05% of GDP. This means that if the Philippines were to meet the 2% threshold, it would need to double its defense spending. What could an additional $5 billion US do for the AFP? If the Philippines were to increase its defense budget to meet the 2% threshold, the additional funding could significantly enhance its defense capabilities. Here's how that money could be used. Number one, achieving full Rehorizon 3 goals. The Philippine military is currently in the Rehorizon 3 phase of its modernization program, which aims to build up a credible external defense force. More funding could allow for faster acquisition of multi-role fighter jets, submarines, missile defense systems, and additional naval assets. Number two, base construction and upgrades. New funding could lead to the construction of new military bases, particularly in strategic locations such as Palawan and Luzon. Existing bases could be modernized with improved infrastructure, better logistics, and state-of-the-art defense systems. Number three, increased recruitment and training. A larger budget would enable the AFP to recruit and train more personnel, ensuring that new weapon systems and assets are effectively manned and operated. Enhanced training programs, including more joint exercises with allied nations like the US, Japan, and Australia, would improve the AFP's combat readiness. And number four, boosting operational tempo. More money means more fuel, maintenance, and spare parts for aircraft, ships, and land vehicles, allowing for increased patrols in the West Philippine Sea. It also means more funding for intelligence and surveillance operations, crucial for countering maritime threats and securing Philippine territorial waters. Would the Philippines benefit from a 2% GDP defense budget? While increasing defense spending to 2% of GDP would bring major benefits, there are challenges that need to be considered. Budget constraints. The Philippine government has other national priorities, including education, healthcare, and infrastructure. A sudden doubling of the defense budget could strain resources. Absorptive capacity. The AFP needs to ensure that it can efficiently utilize the additional funds. Expanding too quickly could lead to mismanagement or delays in project implementation. Geopolitical implications. If the Philippines moves toward a 2% defense budget, it might signal a more assertive stance in the region, which could lead to heightened tensions with China. At the same time that the U.S. is encouraging the Philippines to boost its defense budget, there are also talks within the U.S. Congress about increasing security assistance to Manila. This could come in the form of more foreign military financing, FMF, grants to help the Philippines procure advanced weapons and equipment, more excess defense articles, EDA, transfers, where the Philippines could receive second-hand but still capable U.S. military assets at a reduced cost, more military training and joint exercises, ensuring Philippine forces are better integrated with their American counterparts. If the U.S. significantly increases military aid, it could offset some of the financial burden on the Philippine government, making a higher defense budget more feasible in the long term. While Secretary Hegseth may not have explicitly pushed the Philippines to increase its defense spending during his visit, the discussions in the U.S. legislature suggest that this topic will remain a key issue. Whether the Philippines will move toward a 2% defense budget remains uncertain, but if it does, the impact on the armed forces of the Philippines would be transformative. What do you think? Should the Philippines increase its defense budget to 2% of GDP? Or should it rely more on U.S. military aid while keeping its defense spending at a lower level? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on defense and security issues in the Indo-Pacific region. Thanks for watching.